Archangel Michael says, the air around you is no longer safe. The smile on her face hides poison, and behind every step you take, there is a silent snare that has been woven to capture you. She has worked on this with patience, disguising her intent behind kindness, but her plan is far darker than you realize. Her presence is like a soft melody, sweet to the ear, yet carrying a hidden note of danger. She watches you closely, not with love, but with calculation, waiting for the right moment to pull the strings she has been setting in secret. What feels like harmless attention is nothing but a mask covering the trap. Even now, the walls around you are closing in, though you cannot yet see them. Every choice you make is being studied, every path you take already marked. She has laced her plot with small signs you ignored, but they are already shaping the outcome of what is to come. Archangel Michael says, beware of her silent steps. They are not steps of a friend, but of a hunter who already sees you as prey. And the longer you walk unaware, the tighter her snare becomes. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Her strategy is not loud but subtle, unfolding like threads of silk that cannot be seen unless the light strikes them just right. She wears laughter like perfume, but underneath it is a bitter taste that will strike when you are least prepared. She doesn't push, she doesn't rush, her danger is in the patience with which she waits. At night, her thoughts turn restless, crafting the next move, aligning her false stories, shaping the very words she will use to sway others. She knows how to charm with a tilt of her head and how to mislead with a well-placed sentence. Her tongue carries honey, but her intentions drip with venom. Every time you look into her eyes, you believe you see warmth. But that warmth is nothing more than the reflection of your own trust shining back at you. Without realizing it, you are giving her the very power she needs to pull you deeper into the unseen net. The smile on her face hides poison. And if you do not listen now, that poison will seep into the corners of your life, turning allies into strangers and peace into unrest. Type Amen to get blessing 444. She does not work alone in this plan. There are whispers she carries to others, planting seeds of doubt, nurturing suspicion, weaving mistrust where once there was unity. These whispers are silent daggers, piercing without leaving marks, breaking bonds without leaving proof. Archangel Michael says, the danger is not in what she shows but in what she hides. Behind her kindness, she keeps secrets locked tightly, secrets that will one day burst forth like a storm. Her intent is not only to wound you, but to see you isolated, left questioning everyone you once relied on. Do not be fooled by the gifts she offers, for every gift carries a chain. Do not be disarmed by the softness in her tone, for it is the silence after her words that does the true work. She has already placed the first knot, and with each encounter, another is added. By the time you notice the snare fully, you may already find it difficult to break free. The web is not made of ropes but of influence, of false stories, of carefully placed actions that guide others away from your side. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Her snare is not only about you, it extends to those close to you. She wants to take what is yours by corrupting what surrounds you. If she cannot break you directly, she will pull the strings of others until they unknowingly serve her plan. The poison she carries is not in a vial, but in her words, her touch, her carefully staged silence. Each time you doubt yourself because of her, she grows stronger. Each time you hesitate because of her, the snare tightens. Archangel Michael says, recognize the patterns, for they repeat themselves. The same way she smiled at another before betrayal, she now smiles at you. The same way she offered comfort to another before destruction, she now offers it to you. You are standing on ground already marked. The more you walk forward without caution, the deeper you step into her woven field of traps. But you are not without defense, knowledge itself is a shield. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Her movements are soft, nearly invisible, but the shadow of her intention stretches wide. She moves with precision, making sure no one suspects the depth of her deception. Yet the vibration of her hidden scheme lingers, reaching you even when you don't realize it. At first, it feels harmless, as though she is simply present, simply smiling, simply existing. But look closer, and you will notice how the smile never reaches her eyes. The light in her expression is rehearsed, like an actor playing a role with lines well memorized. She practices silence as much as she practices words. Her quiet moments are not the peace of reflection but the calculations of someone who already knows the next 5 steps. She plans not only how to ensnare you, but also how to make you thank her for it. Archangel Michael says, she thrives on shadows and misdirection. Where there is confusion, she sows more. Where there is harmony, she introduces subtle imbalance, until no one knows which way is safe. Type Amen to get blessing 777. Her poison does not come as a sudden strike, but as a slow drip that enters your world without being noticed. One day, you wake up and realize that your peace has eroded, though you cannot say why. That is when her smile has done its work. She has perfected the art of appearing supportive while secretly twisting the threads of trust. In public, she will stand by you, but in private, she moves the pieces on the board to shift the weight against you. She knows how to appear as your ally, while quietly being your captor. Archangel Michael says, understand that the enemy does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it laughs. Sometimes it waits, wearing a disguise that looks harmless. Her design is not rushed, because she believes her patience guarantees victory. Each delay is only another strand in the net, another knot tied in silence, another step in the cage being built around you. Type Amen to get blessing 888. She has been watching you for far longer than you imagine. This is not a sudden idea born overnight, but a long-crafted design that grows deeper with every passing day. She knows your strengths, but more importantly, she studies your weaknesses. She hides her intentions beneath compliments, praises, and flattery. Each word is a carefully sharpened needle, coated with sweetness to distract from the sting. You believe you are being lifted, but in reality, you are being disarmed. The more you welcome her presence, the less you notice how much space she takes in your mind. She wants your thoughts filled with her, so your guard stays lowered. She thrives on the blind spots you create by trusting her. The smile on her face hides poison, and it is already working through the air you breathe, through the words you accept, through the spaces you let her enter. The danger is alive, though you cannot yet see the scars it will leave. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Archangel Michael says, she thrives on weaving silence into chains. It is not the rope you see that binds you, it is the silence you ignore. By the time you realize, the chain has already grown heavy. She is not only working for herself but also for those who benefit from your downfall. There are others who stand behind her, unseen, encouraging her to continue what she has started. They want to see your collapse, and she is the perfect vessel for their wish. Each smile she gives you is a silent signal to them, a confirmation that the plan is on track. Each moment you dismiss her danger, she feels her victory drawing closer. You are walking into a carefully staged theater, where every scene has already been scripted against you. She is patient enough to wait until the moment of no return. When the net closes, you will think it happened suddenly. But in truth, the weaving has been happening for months, even years. Type Amen to get blessing 111. She has mastered the art of patience, and this is what makes her most dangerous. Unlike those who attack openly, she knows the value of waiting until her victim is deep enough in her web. Her silence is not absence, it is her weapon sharpening itself in the dark. Her influence grows not by loud words, but by careful impressions she leaves on those around you. Every shared glance, every whispered suggestion, every subtle gesture becomes a seed she plants. And those seeds are sprouting without your knowledge, turning people's trust into suspicion. Archangel Michael says, "The enemy you cannot see is always the hardest to fight." She is not swinging a blade at you, she is preparing a stage where the ground beneath you gives way. She needs no violence when deception does the work more effectively. The snare is not one thread but many, woven from false kindness, hidden lies, and calculated patience. Each thread is invisible on its own, but together, they become unbreakable. That is the trap she is counting on. Type Amen to get blessing 222. You must know, her smile is not for you, it is for her plan. It carries no love, no truth, only the reflection of her scheme hidden beneath. And the longer you ignore it, the closer you come to walking straight into her net. At night, when you are still, she is not resting. Her mind is awake, recalling every word you spoke, analyzing every move you made, replaying your actions like pieces in a game. She wants to predict you, to know you so deeply that she can outstep you before you act. Her kindness is an act, and her silence is a cloak. She has learned to hide her poison behind a gentle tone, behind well-timed laughter, behind the false comfort of presence. And when she finally moves, it will be too late to doubt. The smile on her face hides poison, and that poison is already dripping, unseen, into the cracks of your life. You feel restless without knowing why, and that is her shadow moving closer. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, the danger is not in her hands, it is in her silence. She has carefully created a mask, and that mask has fooled many before you. But now, her attention is fully on you, and the snare is already prepared. You may not notice, but others around you are beginning to shift. Words they once spoke with warmth now come with hesitation. Smiles that once felt genuine now carry a faint shadow. These are signs of her influence spreading, touching them like unseen fire. Do not take lightly the threads she weaves, for each is strong enough to turn people against you. What begins as a small suggestion can become a full betrayal once repeated and believed. This is how her poison spreads, not quickly, but permanently. Her greatest trick is convincing you she means no harm. As long as you believe that, she has already won. And the moment you realize it, she will already be too far ahead. Type Amen to get blessing 444. She does not move in haste, because she knows the value of timing. Like a hunter in the shadows, she waits until you are most vulnerable, until your guard is down, until you least expect her strike. Her patience is not mercy, it is calculation. Archangel Michael says, recognize her for what she truly is. She is not a friend. She is not a guide. She is a weaver of shadows, and her entire purpose is to see your light dim. Her plan is not only about today but about tomorrow, about the weeks and months ahead. She wants your downfall to appear natural, as though it happened by chance. But in truth, it is her hand that will have guided it all. The smile on her face hides poison, and the snare she wove is almost complete. If you do not awaken now, you will walk into it with your own steps, believing it was your choice. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Her poison works slowly, creeping into the corners of your life without sound. It does not burn at once but lingers, spreading like smoke you cannot see until it fills every breath. That is how she operates, hidden, patient, relentless. She is not chasing you with open force, but luring you with quiet movements. Each kind word, each sympathetic look, each gesture of care is a carefully sharpened tool. You are being drawn closer, step by step, without realizing the ground beneath you is already marked. Archangel Michael says, her plan is not random, it is deliberate. Every encounter with her is a step deeper into the maze she created. And at the center of that maze is the snare she intends for you to stumble upon. The smile on her face hides poison, and the poison hides chains. Chains that are invisible now, but once they close around you, escape will be a battle of strength, faith, and will. Type Amen to get blessing 666. Her story is not hers alone. She has allies, silent ones who encourage her actions, who nod behind closed doors, who feed her words to keep the plan alive. They are the hidden hands behind her smile, the shadows standing at her back. What she cannot do with her charm, they will do with their whispers. Together they are building a storm you cannot see forming. By the time it reaches you, it will feel like fate, but it is not fate, it is design. Archangel Michael says, she thrives when you dismiss her. The more you believe she is harmless, the stronger she becomes. The more you ignore the signs, the more her plan unfolds unnoticed. Her silence has already spread into your world. Each pause in her voice, each unspoken word, each unasked question is a stone placed on the path you are being led down. Type Amen to get blessing 777. She does not come like a thief in the night, she comes like a guest at your table. She sits where she is welcome, she speaks where she is heard, and she smiles where you trust. And in those very spaces, she leaves the poison she carries. You feel safe when she is near, but that safety is an illusion. It is the safety one feels when the net is not yet pulled tight. But the net has been waiting, and her hands are on the ropes. Archangel Michael says, what you see is not what is true. The truth lies beneath her rehearsed gestures, in the way her eyes flicker when she thinks you are not watching. The truth is buried in her silence, where the poison waits. The smile on her face hides poison, and the snare is nearly complete. One more step, and the silence she wove will become unbreakable. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Her patience makes her appear harmless. That is the greatest danger. Because you do not see the harm today, you believe no harm exists. But the storm she prepares will not announce itself until it breaks. She collects knowledge of you like a thief collects treasures. Every detail of your life, every story you share, every weakness you reveal is stored within her mind. And she will use it when the moment is right. Archangel Michael says, "You are not defenseless." The warning has come to you now because there is still time. But time is not infinite, the snare is already tightening. The smile on her face hides poison. And the closer you stand to her, the more it spreads into you, waiting for the day when it will claim its victory. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Her footsteps leave no sound, yet every move carries intent. She is like a shadow that bends around your light, pretending to belong yet feeding on what shines within you. Her silence is a cloak, and beneath it the poison breathes. She knows the power of waiting. Waiting until you trust her fully. Waiting until you open the last door. Waiting until you believe you are safe. That is when she strikes, not with a blow, but with betrayal. Archangel Michael says, "You are standing at the edge of her design." The threads she has woven are wrapped around your path, delicate but deadly. Once you take the wrong step, they will tighten, and escape will not be easy. The smile on her face hides poison, and that poison has already touched the air around you. The longer you remain blind, the more it grows, unseen yet undeniable. Type Amen to get blessing 111. She has studied the art of deception as though it were her birthright. Every word she speaks is measured, every expression rehearsed, every silence intentional. She knows exactly when to speak, and even more, when not to. When she is quiet, it is not because she has nothing to say. It is because her silence is saying more than words ever could. Her silence bends your thoughts, makes you question yourself, makes you surrender pieces of your strength without realizing. Her smile is a mask she has worn many times before. It has fooled others, it has trapped them, and now it turns toward you. She is confident because her poison has worked before. Archangel Michael says, "Do not underestimate her patience." She is playing a game where time itself is her weapon, and she believes you will fall because you will not suspect until it is too late. Type Amen to get blessing 222. She will not attack your body first, she attacks your mind. By the time her plan is complete, you will feel as if you brought yourself into the snare willingly. That is her mastery, turning her trap into your choice. Those around you are already beginning to shift because of her. She has whispered words into their ears, shaping how they see you, bending their thoughts until their loyalty cracks. This is how her poison spreads, through others, through influence, through lies. Archangel Michael says, "The danger is not loud. It is subtle, soft, like silk threads winding around you. But silk can bind as tightly as chains when enough of it is woven." You are already inside her design, though you may not yet realize it. The silence she weaves is no longer outside of you, it has entered your world. Type Amen to get blessing 333. She thrives when you dismiss her. That is the space she needs to grow stronger. The moment you say to yourself, "She means no harm," is the moment she smiles with triumph. Her kindness is a tool, her sympathy a blade. She pretends to care, but she is counting each step you take toward the snare. Nothing about her is accidental. The poison she carries is not just for you, it is for your relationships, your peace, your opportunities. She wants to dismantle more than one part of you, she wants to break everything that surrounds you. Archangel Michael says, "Beware of her silence, for that is when she is strongest." She does not need to speak her plan aloud, her silence is already weaving the threads of your downfall. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Her silence is more dangerous than her words. Words can be challenged, questioned, or denied, but silence creeps in without resistance. It shapes the air around you, building a cage that feels invisible yet unbreakable. She has been careful to make her presence appear harmless. A friendly face, a gentle tone, an occasional gesture of kindness, all these are part of the disguise. She knows you will trust her more when she seems simple and unthreatening. Archangel Michael says, "Beware of this disguise. What looks like peace is only a mask for destruction." The poison is never in what she shows, it is always in what she hides. The smile on her face hides poison, and you are already breathing it in. It does not kill at once, it weakens slowly, softening your guard until she has all the power. Type Amen to get blessing 555. Her greatest strength is patience. She does not rush, because she knows waiting makes her trap stronger. Each delay adds another thread to the snare, another knot you will not see until it is too late. She thrives on the trust you offer her. The more open you are, the more power she takes. The more you share, the more she learns how to undo you from within. Every time you believe her words, another chain forms. Every time you excuse her silence, another wall rises around you. The snare is not built in a day, it is built in moments you overlook. Archangel Michael says, "She is weaving even now." The net is tightening, and your steps are guiding you straight into its center. Type Amen to get blessing 666. She moves carefully among others, using their voices as tools. She does not always speak against you directly, but she knows how to plant doubt in someone else's mind. One whisper is enough to begin breaking loyalty. By the time you notice, the people you thought you could depend on may have already shifted. They may not even know why, but their trust will begin to waver. That is her craft, turning allies into strangers. Her smile is not only for you, it is for them, too. It convinces them she is harmless, even kind. That way, when she sows her lies, they believe her without question. Archangel Michael says, "Understand that her silence and her poison do not stop with you, they spread outward, touching everyone connected to you." Type Amen to get blessing 777. The longer she waits, the stronger her trap becomes. She knows that once you are fully entangled, it will not matter if you wake up to the truth. By then, the chains will already be locked. Her patience is not a sign of hesitation, it is a sign of certainty. She is sure of her plan, and she believes nothing can stop it. That is why she smiles so confidently, even while hiding poison. Her silence is not empty, it is filled with intent. It is filled with strategies, calculations, and the weight of her secret scheme. She speaks less because the truth would expose her. The smile on her face hides poison, and the silence in her heart hides the snare. Both are closing in, piece by piece, until you can no longer move freely. Type Amen to get blessing 888. Her silence lingers even after she leaves the room. It clings like a shadow on the walls, invisible but heavy. This is not ordinary silence, it carries weight, intention, and the residue of the trap she continues to weave. She has been planting signs around you, though you may not recognize them. A strange shift in how others treat you, a hesitation in their eyes, a sudden distance in their voices. These are not coincidences, they are the echoes of her poison spreading. Archangel Michael says, her plan is not simply to harm, it is to reshape your world. She wants to rearrange the very foundation of your life until you no longer feel stable. That is the depth of her intent. The smile on her face hides poison, and that poison is already working beneath the surface. It is moving through relationships, through opportunities, through doors that once opened easily but now seem harder to reach. Type Amen to get blessing 999. She is not content with taking one piece of you, she wants it all. Your peace, your trust, your confidence, your future. Her snare is designed to strip away layer by layer until you feel exposed and helpless. She thrives on weakness, not her own but yours. That is why she creates it, why she feeds it, why she works so carefully to manufacture it in your life. When you hesitate, when you second-guess yourself, she smiles because the poison is doing its job. Her silence is the soil, her smile is the cover, and her poison is the seed. All three together are growing something meant to bring your downfall. And it is almost ready to bloom. Archangel Michael says, do not ignore the unease in your spirit. It is not paranoia, it is warning. The snare is nearly closed, but awareness can still break it. Type Amen to get blessing 111. She understands that the strongest prisons are invisible. Chains you can see can be fought, but chains woven from trust, kindness, and silence are harder to resist. That is why she hides her poison beneath her smile. She wants you to believe you are safe, even when you are surrounded by danger. That false sense of comfort is her weapon, for comfort keeps you blind. And blindness makes her victory certain. Her plan is not rushed because she believes time is her ally. Every day you dismiss her intentions is another day she wins. Every moment you choose to trust her is another knot tied around you. Archangel Michael says, there is no greater enemy than the one who pretends to be your friend. And that is exactly what she is, an enemy disguised as a companion. Type Amen to get blessing 222. Her smile is rehearsed. She has practiced it so well that even she believes it sometimes. But behind it, her mind is sharp, restless, constantly weaving and calculating. She knows how to speak to win others over. She knows how to stay quiet to avoid suspicion. She knows how to use both silence and words as weapons. Every move she makes is part of the trap. Each time she lowers her eyes, each time she tilts her head, each time she offers a small kindness, it is a step deeper into her plan. The smile on her face hides poison, and that poison is now circling you like a predator around prey. You do not yet feel the claws, but they are ready. Type Amen to get blessing 333.